Good morning, students. Welcome to Aptitude Repair Shala. So today is lecture 3rd of SI and CI. Okay. So what we have seen till now is basic difference between SI and CI, and we have seen some cases based on that. We will see one more case, and that is actually very important case. Directly questions are asked based on that case. So you remember that model, that will be actually useful for your further questions. Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying that if that case is, just a minute. What I'm saying that if your rate of interest, I'm making a column of rate of interest, and if it is charged annually, okay, if it is charged annually, then CI minus SI for 2 years. Okay, this is one column. Second one, when it is charged half yearly, then CI minus SI for 2 years. Okay. And then in between, what we are going to have, in between we are going to have a percentage for half yearly calculation. Okay. So what you can say, let's look. Suppose rate of interest is 10%, right? If rate of interest is 10%, 10 will become 21, and CI value is 21% and SI value is 20%. So what will be the difference? You can say difference will be 1%. Right? But when this rate of interest becomes like this 10% per annum, right? When you are doing for half yearly calculation, this will become 5%. Yes. Now let's look at for 20%. 20%, this will be 4%. Already I told you R square by 100. So this is 400 by 100, and then it will be giving you 4, right? 30%, if you see, 30% will give you 9%. What is the half yearly calculation? This thing. This will be 10% and this will be 15%. Now, this is make it this one as 1 year. It will be little easier. Okay. CI minus SI for 1 year. Now what you can say that 5% for 1 year means 2 half yearlies will be there. Yes or no? So what you can say, 5 and 5 into 5 by 100. You can say 0.25. So what is the difference actually? 0.25%. Here if I say, what is the percentage? 10%. So 10%. Then what you can say? Then that is 1%. If I talk about 30%, what you can say? 15 and 2.25. So what is the difference? 2.25%. Let's take some other in middle value. Suppose 15%. So it will be becoming how much? 15% means this value will become 2.25%, and this value will become 7.5%. This value will become, SI value will be 15. CI value will be 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 7.5 into 7.5 by 100. Or you can say 7.5 whole square divided by 100. 7.5 whole square is 56.25. Already I told you now how to do the whole square of 75. You can do anyway, it will be 25. And whatever is remaining other than 5, write it here. Add 1 and subtract. Add 1 and multiply. So you will be getting 5625. So what you can write here? 0.5625%. Clear? So this is one case. Another case of what I'm going to discuss is this one. Suppose 100 is given, okay, and you are having 3 successive increment, 10%, 10%, and 10% each, right? Now, in this successive percentage, what I'm going to ask you, just tell me, okay. So I'm going to ask you CI for 3 years. and SI for 3 years. And then I'm going to ask CI minus SI for 3 years. Same here, I'm going to ask CI for 2 years, SI for 2 years, and again CI minus SI for 2 years. How you can find? If we talk about in terms of percentage, we can say CI for 3 years is what? 33.1%. Already we discussed in the previous lectures, right? SI for 3 years will be 30%. So CI minus SI will be what? 3.1%. Right. Now CI for 2 years will be what? 21%. SI for 2 years will be 20%, and CI minus SI for 2 years is 1%. Now remember what I am going to say. CI minus SI divided by 3 years and CI minus SI divided by 2 years. This ratio, if rate of interest is in between, if your rate of interest is between 0 to 100, obviously when you are talking about interest rate, always your interest rate will be between 0 to 100 only. So this value will be always more than 3, right? It will be something like 3 point. In this case it is 3.1. In this case it is 3.1. Now when it is 3.1, what you can say? Now what I'm saying, just notice, after decimal whatever is there, that is your rate of interest. How you can find? Suppose this one is given, what do you do? 3.1 minus 3, whatever comes, multiply with 100. That will be your rate of interest. This is a standard case. You take any other case, you take here 20% and then find, then also you will find the same thing only. You want to check for 20%? Let's check for 20%, okay? So this one you have to tell me, okay? So when I'm doing for 20%, what will be CI for 3 years? Tell me. Anyway, for SI for 3 years will be 60%. And so what you can say, 20% is like 20%, 20% and 20%. So what you can say, till here it is 44% and here 20%. So what you can say, this will be 64% plus 880 divided by 100, or you can say 8.8, or what you can say, this will become 72.8%. So what you can say, what is the difference? 12.8% is the difference, right? CI minus SI for 3 years is 12.8%. Now if I'm talking about here 2 years, what will be your this one? 44%. This will be 40%. What is the difference? 4%. Now you find CI minus SI for 3 years, that is 12.8% divided by 4%. What you are getting? 3.2. 3.2 is what? 20% rate of interest, right? So whenever they give you this two cases, CI minus SI for 3 years and CI minus SI for 2 years, divided, you will get the value something like 3 point, after point whatever comes, that is your rate of interest. How to find? 3.2 is there, you subtract 3.2 minus 3, whatever you get, multiply with 100 and you will be getting rate of interest. Clear? Tell it is clear, right? Okay, let's talk about next case. Next case says, if your rate of interest is R, CI minus SI for 3 years 1, and then CI minus SI. Actually this case only, I can tell you like how you can remember the things. 2 years. And then CI minus SI for 3 years divided by CI minus SI for 2 years. Okay, so I'm just writing some values. You can verify in home. So 10% already we have done. Yes or no? Now let's talk about 20%. That also we have done. This will be 12.8%. This will be 4%. So this will be 3.2. Or if you talk about 30%. 30% will be, this value will be 29.7%. This value will be 9%. Now you can check. This will be 3.3. Now, I hope you are clear with this idea. Okay, let's solve one question which came in SSC CGL 2016. That is CI minus SI for 3 years. It is given as 468, and CI minus SI for 2 years, it is given as 180 rupees, right? So what you have to find is rate of interest. I hope you will not have any problem. What you will do for 468 divided by 180, so this will give you 3.12%. Sorry, 3.12, not percentage. Okay, 3.12. 3.12 means 3.12 minus 3, that is 0.12 into 100, that is 12%. Rate of interest is 12%. Okay, clear? Let's solve some questions based on this. Okay. Now what is telling that the difference between compound interest and simple interest at same rate of interest of a sum of 1200 for 2 years, it is 48 rupees. So it is given that CI minus SI for 2 years, this is given as 48 rupees. Can you find in terms of percentage? In terms of percentage, it will be 48 divided by 1200. So how much percentage this is? 4%, right? This is 4%. And you know, if CI minus SI is 4%, how you can go till to R percentage? What you will do? 4 into 100 and square root. So what you can say, this will become 20% as rate of interest. So your answer will be 20%. Clear? Now check another one. This is now rate of interest, difference between compound interest and simple interest. For 2 years, it is 49.65. Now 49.65 in terms of percentage, you find how much it will be? 1% is, sorry, 10% is 150, 1% is 15. So this will be something like 3.31, right? And if CI minus SI is 3.31 and you have to go to rate of interest, what you will be doing? 3.31 into 100 and square root. So it will be, you will be getting square root of 331. Square root of 331 will be in between what? It will be like, if I say, it will be between 324 and 361. Square root of 324 and 361. Square root of 324 is how much? 18, and this one is 19. Means your rate of interest will be in between 18 and 19. Any option is there? No. So none of these. Clear? Or if you want to be little quick, what you can do, that anyway you know that whatever value you get here, you have to take a square root. So if you take a square root of 3, you will be getting something like 1.732. Means your rate of interest will be something like 17 point something. 17 point something do you have here? No. So directly you can put none of this. Clear? This one. The difference between compound interest and simple interest at 20% rate of interest on a sum of 2 years is 420.4. Find the original sum. What you can say? Now 20% rate of interest is there, R value. So what will be CI minus SI for 2 years? Remember, right? What it was? R square divided by 100. This much percentage was there. So what you can write? 400 by 100, yes or no? That is 400 by 100. So this will become 4%. Now 4% value is given how much? 422.4. So 1% value is 105.6. What you are asking? Interest, right? Sorry, principal, right? Principal is 100%. So principal is 100% means what you can say? This value will become 1056 means what? 00. 10 only. So 10,560. What is this? None of these. Okay. Next, difference between simple and compound interest for 9,000. On 9,000 for 1 year it is 15,000 per annum compounded half yearly. Compounded half yearly means what? 7.5% and 7.5%, right? So your rate of interest is what? 7.5%. So CI minus SI for 2 years, or I have not said 2 years, I would say 2 cycles. What will be 2 cycles? You can say 7.5 whole square divided by 100. 7.5 whole square is 5625, means 56.25 by 100 means it will be 0.5625%. And this value is this value anyway it is given. No, this is what you have to find. So what you can say, 0.5625% of what? 9,000. You solve this thing and you'll be getting the answer. Now one thing is very sure, 9,000, 10% value is 900, 1% value is 90, and this is nearly how much? This is what? 0.5%, right? So 0.5% will be what? Nearly 45. Do you have any option with 45? No. Or 50? No. So what will be your option? None of these. Or if you want, you can calculate also. What you'll be doing? Calculate. So multiply this thing. So 9 5s are 45, 9 2s are 18, 18 4 22, 2, 9 6 are 54, 2 6 5, 9 5s are 45, and 5 50. So what you'll be getting? And then 3 zeros, 4 zeros, you'll be getting something around 900 by 100, 0. So you'll be getting 50.625. Any option is given 50.625? No. So this is our none of these. Or directly itself you can conclude. See, what I already told you, whenever you are solving a question, you do it in steps. Divide the question or solution in some steps. You do one step and then go through the option, check whether any step is matching. There are chances that after doing step 1, you will be able to eliminate 2 options. Again, do second step to choose one of those out of those 2 options. If you are not able to get the answer, options are very close, then solve it. But as SSC kind of exams, after doing step 1 itself, you will get the idea. Okay, next. This one. On a certain sum, compound interest is rupees 10 more than the simple interest in 2 years. Right? So what actually they have given? CI minus SI for 2 years value is given as 10. And CI minus SI for 3 years, it is given how much? 32 more, right? So what is the rate of interest? You can say 32 by 10, that is 3.2. 3.2 means 20%. Believe me, people who don't have that standard values, they will take a lot of time in solving this question. This one. The ratio of difference of CI minus SI for 3 years, the difference of CI minus SI for 2 years is 25 by 8. 25 by 8 in terms of what you will be writing? 3 point what? 1, 2, 5. So what is that? 0.125 means what you can say? 0.125, 3.125 minus 3, that is 0.125 into 100, or you can say 12.5%. That is clear? Able to get the idea, right? This one. Difference of CI minus SI for 3 years, 44 more than the difference of CI minus SI for 2 years. Find the annual rate of interest. What they have given is CI minus SI for 3 years minus CI minus SI for 2 years. It is given as 44. What is the annual rate of interest? Can you find it? No. When you have the ratio only, you can find it. But here ratio is not given. So this will be cannot be determined. And remember the standard one. Standard one says that CI minus SI for 3 years. When you divide by CI minus SI for 2 years, whatever the ratio comes, then only you'll be able to find the rate of interest. But here ratio is not given. There's no other relation between CI minus SI for 3 years and 2 years for finding the rate of interest other than the ratio method. So this one is cannot be determined. This one you solve and tell me the answer. What's the answer? 15%. So what you can say from this one is that CI minus SI for 3 years will be 630 and CI minus SI for 2 years it is given as 200. If you divide this one, you will be getting 3.15. 3.15 means 15%. That is this one. Clear? Check another one. Amount of rupees 12,000 after 6 years under simple interest at 10%. And okay, it's a present value question. So let me discuss the another concept, that is present value. Okay, this is an installment question. Okay, solve this one. Compound interest and simple interest on a certain principal for 2 years are 2520 and 2400. What you can say? CI minus SI for 2 years will be what? You can say that will be 120, right? Now, if SI is there for 2 years, right? You can say this SI is there for 2 years. So 1 year SI will be what? 1200. Now that 1200 will be what? Now from 1200 only you are getting this 120, right? Can't you find the rate of interest? What will be the rate of interest? 120 by 1200, that is 10%. So what is your rate of interest? 10%. Now finding the principal, you can say that 1200 is a SI value, and this 1200 value is what? 10%. So 100% of this will be 12,000. So you can say that your principal value will be 12,000. Clear? Okay, so let's discuss one more concept, that is present value. And some questions will be given like a certain sum of amount is due at 5% per annum for 5 years. What is the present worth, or what is, all these questions are there. We'll be seeing those questions one by one. Okay, so so this concept says that present value, okay, this, and actually this option, what I'm going to say is present value under under SI. Generally they don't ask present value under CI. In SSC they have never asked, so you can study under SI. But still I'll tell you for CI also. So present value SI is, there'll be a question like some due amount will be given, right? Some due amount will be given, something like X, some due amount X will be there after n years at R% per annum rate of interest. Okay, some question will be given, something like due amount, and X will be given after n years at some rate of interest. Okay. So three things are given actually, you know. There are actually three things. X is there, N is there, and R is there. They will give you any two and find the another one. Three things are there which are making these type of question. That is X, N, and R. They will give you any two values and find the another one. Because if they give all the three values, what will you find? Nothing, right? So suppose question will be something like I am writing a question that after 2 years at 10% per annum, due amount is 144. Find the original amount. Okay. So what is actually, now I'll tell what is due amount. Due amount is the thing like which you have to pay. Suppose if I tell you that you have taken some amount from me, suppose you have taken something like 100 rupees from me, right? And you have taken for 2 years at 5% rate of interest. And suppose it is becoming something like 110. So what I would say that, I will not tell this 100, I will tell you, your amount is due for 110 rupees for 2 years at 5% rate of interest. So I will ask how much I gave you. There's no difference in, you know, simple interest calculation and present value calculation. No, same thing is there. Only thing is due amount is the thing which you have to return back. That's it. So generally due amount is your amount. Principal will be there, rate of interest will be there, and amount will be there. So principal is there, rate of interest is there, and amount is there. Generally this amount is called due amount, right? Okay. So let's talk about this. So what you can say this one, that for 10% per annum for 2 years, what is the due amount? 144. Right. So what you can say, 10% for 2 years under SI will be what? 21%, sorry, 20%. 20%, something is increased by 20% and the answer is 144. Then what will be this value? What you can say? $120. What you can say? This value will be 120. How you can say 20% value? So on one way of saying, I can say 20% value is 1 by 5. Right? 1 by 5 means 5 is increased and made 6. This 6 value is given as 144. Means this is 24. So 24, one value is 24, so here also you have to multiply with 24, so this will become 120. So means which amount will become 144? Okay. Another way, already I told you, you can apply that constant product ratio. From here to here, how much change is happening? You can say plus 1 by 5. So from here to here, how much change should happen? Minus 1 by 6. So minus 1 by 6 will be what? 120. Remember, right? This is which structure in percentage I told you? Third structure, right? Sometimes, you know, this calculation will be little trickier. That time you can simply apply the CPR or AB rule and get the answer. Clear? Now we'll talk about same thing under compound interest. Okay, same thing under compound interest. Okay, before going further, we can do one more thing. Actually, you are getting what? You are getting 120 as an answer, right? Right? 120 as an answer. Or you can say that your present value is what? 144 divided by multiplying factor equivalent. How? Let me tell you. So when you told that this is 20% and here 144 is there. Right? So 20% is given means what is the multiplying factor? 1.2. Divide 1.2 here and check 144 by 1.2. What you will be getting? 120. Are you getting? What you can say present value? Present value will be 144, or that is due amount divided by multiplying factor equivalent. Same calculation is there. If you remember the formula, this is fine, or if you remember the logic, that is also fine. Why I am telling the formula? So that you don't tell, sir, you don't know the formula. I know the formula, but I prefer not to follow the formula. Okay. Now same thing, I am not rubbing this part, what I am erasing, this part I am erasing, and this one, it is now, the same question is there, now instead of SI, we will do it in CI, right, we will do it in CI. Same thing, due amount will be X, after n years, R% rate of interest. So, 2 years means, can you say this will be something like 10% and 10%, and then only you will be getting 144. Now you know this value will not be 20%. This value will be, you can say, compound interest one, that is 21%. 21%. So what you can say, anything is given that is 21% when it is increased, it is becoming 144. So what is your value? You can say 21, or better, if I give you some better amount, that will be fine. Let me see if I have any better value. So this is, take it 142, okay, make it 142. If you make it 142, now solve. So you can say, same way, here also your present value is 142, that is your due amount, divided by multiplying factor equivalent. Because this also, like this one you have made something like it was 20%, and here amount was 144, and this multiplying factor was 1.2. So what you did, 144 by 1.2. Now same case I have changed in this one, right? Now if you forget this 10%, what is remaining? This only is remaining, right? This is what? These two cases are same, right? Same thing you write. So 21%, what is your equivalent multiplying factor? 1.21. You forgot, right? For 20% 1.2, for 21% 1.21, divide by 1.21. So if you divide, it will be 142 divided by 1.21. You make it 242, this will be better. Okay. So when you make it 242, this will be what? 200. By logic. Okay. So let's talk about logic. So what they are telling is 21%, and this one is becoming 242. Okay. This one is becoming 242. So what you can say, 100% value, 21% increase. So what you can say, 121% value is given as 242. So 1% value is 2. So 100% value is 200. At the 100% value was only our answer, right? The principal one. Clear? I hope this is clear, right? Now let's go for questions. Okay. What amount of rupees 12,000 after 6 years under simple interest at 10% per annum? An amount of rupees 12,000 after 6 years under simple interest at 10% per annum. Present value they have to find. Means present value you have to find 10% for 6 years means 60%, that is given as 12,000. You can say, if you want to find, one way is you can say 160% is 12,000, and then you can find 100% value. Another way you can say 60% increment means plus 3 by 5. So here decrease will be minus 3 by 8. Solve. We'll be getting the answer. Right. So what is this value? Minus 3 by 8. So you can say 12,000 into 3 by 8. How you can find? So anyway, it is divisible by 8. It is divisible, yes. 8 ones are 8 fives are 00. So 4,500. That you have to subtract. So you can say this is 7,500. So this will be 7,500. One approach, another approach. Already I told you what you can do. 60% increase. So 60% increase. 60% increase means 3 by 5 means 5 will become 8. 8 is given as 12,000. So one value is 1,500, right? So one value is 1,500. So 5 value will be 7,500. Another approach. 100% was the value. 60% increase 12,000. So you can say 160% is 12,000. So 100% value is 7,500. Clear? Whichever method you like, you follow. It should be short. I would say this is the shortest method, right? Okay. Clear? Okay. So this concept is done. Okay. One more concept is there, that is called actually two more concepts are remaining. That is, first one is true discount, and second one is installments. So after these two topics, we'll be doing miscellaneous questions. That time I'll be covering each and every type of SI and CI. Okay. So we'll be solving nearly 20-25 questions. So let's study true discount. Okay. So our topic is true discount, right? So what is true discount? Discount which is true, that is this true discount. So there are some terms which we are going to use. Remember these terms and don't get confused. Terms will be something like face value, and then banker's discount, post dated check, and all those. Okay, so remember. So let me first tell you something like check. What is check? This is a part of your checkbook. You write the amount, sign it, give it to some person. What that person will do? It will go to the bank, deposit the check, and get the money. You can say it's a medium of getting the money, or you can say bill of exchange, exchanging the money, right? Okay. Now next is suppose if I give you a check, and suppose I have in my account I have just 1,000 rupees, right? And I give you a check for 5,000 rupees, and you deposited the check. What will happen? It will be bounced, and I will be penalized. Yes or no? I will be penalized because actually it's actually illegal. You can say it's a crime, non-bailable crime. That if you give a check and that is bounced. Then we have another concept called post-dated check. What is this post-dated check? That suppose it is 20 now, right? What's the date today? 26, 25, 25, right? And obviously month end means I'll not be having any money, and I have to buy something. Suppose I have to buy something from Hema. Hema is selling her old phone to me, and I don't have money. And Hema is telling if any other buyer comes now, I'll not keep it for you, I'll sell it to that person. So I told, see Hema, I don't have money now. But what I can do is I can give you one post dated check. Means what I'll do, I'll in the check itself the date I will keep for some other date, not 25. I'll keep something like 2 or 3, so that when you go there at 2 and 3 you will be getting the money. Because now I have 1,000 rupees, but I'm sure on 31st I'll get my salary. Means there will be money in the account and you will be able to get the money. Understand this concept, what is post dated check. Now suppose Gayatri is there, okay, and we are talking about Anurama, okay. These two people are there. Understand the case. This is only for understanding, okay. So what I'm telling that Gayatri actually asked, like Gayatri bought something from Anurama, right? Gayatri bought something from Anurama. Suppose it's a phone, right? Suppose 2,000 rupees phone Gayatri has taken. Means from Anurama, Gayatri has taken 2,000 rupees. Instead of giving cash, what Gayatri has given a check of 2,000 rupees. That too, that check after 6 months. So Gayatri has given a check that 2,000 rupees check I am giving you, and you can take it after 6 months. But what happened in between that? Anurama came Like, Anurama, if I'm talking about, this is April, right? I'm talking about, so today is what? 25th April. So after 6 months, what will be the date? If Gayatri is giving a check for 6 months, how much will be the date here? That is 25 November. November or October? October. Okay. So it will be 25 October. But what happens in between that? Anurama needs money. Now, Anurama cannot go to Gayatri and tell that give me 2000 rupees now. Why? Because they both already came in agreement that I have given you a check, you can get it after 6 months. If Anurama goes before that, it will be like, it's like going by her words. So obviously, now Anurama is left with no option than having a check and waiting for that. But there will come some person like me. Okay. What I will say that, okay, your check value is 2000 rupees and it is, I can get the money on 25th October. Let's do one thing. Maybe Gayatri needs, Anurama needs money after 3 months. Means Anurama now approached me 3 months before October. 3 months before October means May, June, July, August, September, October. So when Anurama will approach me? July. So 25th July, Anurama will approach me and tell that give me, somehow you have to do something with this check and you have to help me. Then I will say, why I should give you 2000 rupees? Why I should give you 2000 rupees? Because if I simply give you 2000 rupees, it will be wasted now. This 2000 rupees I can use for 3 months. Then what I told, okay, I would say that suppose the rate of interest in the bank rate of interest is 12% per annum. You give for 3 months, what will be the rate of interest? 3%. So I would say that I will not give you 2000 rupees. What I will do, I will cut 3% of 2000 rupees. I'll cut 3% of 2000 rupees and give you the rest amount. And Anurama will agree. Why? Because 2000 rupees in a check is not useful, but if I give in cash, so how much 3% of 2000 is what? 60 rupees. Means I will be agreed to give how much? 1940 rupees. So I would say that I will give you 1940 rupees. Okay. So this 60 rupees, this is called your banker's discount. This is called your banker's discount. Now you might be thinking that if I have given 1940 rupees and anyway it is going to become 2000 rupees here, what's the profit of me here? You might think, right? See, if I am doing this thing, there must be some profit, right? Why I'll simply give the money for free? There must be some profit. So what is the profit I'm getting here? What is the profit I'm getting? 60 rupees. 60 rupees profit you will be getting. Why? 60 rupees anyway will go in interest, right? Anyway 940 with 60% interest will become 2000 rupees. Then why I'll invest money here? Understand this case. If I say that some amount is there, 12% per annum was there, for 6%, for 6 months it will be 6%. For 6% it is becoming how much? You can say for 6% it is becoming, just a minute, in 6% it is due amount is what? 2000 rupees. And this one is also called face value. Remember, this is called face value. Generally you'll be calculating the things, this is called face value, and this one is called present worth. These two things are very important. This is called PW and this one is called FV. Okay. So what is the present worth? That after giving at 6% rate of interest for 6 months, you will be getting 2000 rupees. You will say that it will become 2000 divided by 1.06. What is the value? That is how much? 1886. Means its value was 1886.79 and if you give it 6% rate of interest, it will be becoming 2000 rupees. Now I'm asking, if this 2000 rupees is there, now my case, 3 months before, what should be the present worth here? You can say it will be 2000 divided by 1.03. Yes or no? What will be that value? If you solve this one, you will be getting 1941.74. So this one you can say 1941.74. And previously how much I gave? I gave only 1940. So how much profit I am making? 1.74. And for this profit only, I have agreed to give money to Anurama. And this one is called true discount. True discount is always calculated on present worth. Important thing, note down that true worth is always calculated on present worth. Do you want me to explain again? I'll explain again. I know your faces are okay. So post-dated check concept is clear, right? What I'm saying now that Gayatri got a phone and 2000 rupees she did not have. So what she gave a post-dated check or 2000 rupees, but Anurama actually needed money before itself, 3 months before. So what she did, she came to me and told that I have 2000 rupees check and I need urgent money. I told that I cannot give you 2000 rupees. Why? Because if I give you 2000 rupees, it will be loss for me. Because I have to pay interest for 2000 rupees, or maybe I can earn interest on 2000 rupees. So what I will do is that whatever the rate of interest is there in bank, with that rate of interest, I'll deduct the money on 2000 rupees. That is your face value, right? This is your face value. And after deducting that, I will be giving you rest of money. So rest of money, how much? 1940. I will be giving it to Anurama. Now, after this, the question arises that what is my profit? That for that profit I told you. Suppose present worth was some present worth was there, and at 12% per annum, in 6 months it is becoming 2000 rupees. So what is the present worth? You got to know that it will be 1886.79, right? But what do we need before 3 months? What I want to know, what is the worth of that money? I'm giving 2000 rupees, no? So what will be worth just 3 months before? I got to know that worth will be actually 1941.74. But how much I have given? Only 1940. So how much profit I'm making? 1.74, and this is only called true discount. Okay. Why you'll have 60 rupees? Okay. Okay. You have given 1940 rupees, but the worth of that is not 1940 rupees. That is 1941. So when you now where you will be getting the interest? You'll be getting the interest on this one. So how much interest you will be getting? Of that is 3% of that, and you will be getting more than 2000. You will be earning more than the 2000. That's why you have invested here. Okay. So this one you understood. Now one more thing I can say that when in the previous case, when we were finding the banker discount, it was always calculated on face value. And true discount is always calculated on what? Present worth. Don't write present value. Okay, it is present worth. Okay, because present value will be 1940, but present worth will be 1941. Right. So remember this thing. It will be quite useful in solving questions. Some more important things are present worth plus true discount will be what? Your face value. And present worth and true discount, and this true discount is always calculated on present worth. These are some of the things you have to remember. Once you understand the flow, questions will be easy for you. Okay, I think you can note down later also. Okay, no issues. Okay, so let's solve some questions so that you get a better understanding. The true discount on sum of money due in 2 years hence at 5% is 300 rupees. Find the sum. So what is given? True discount is given, and you know that present worth plus true discount value is face value. True discount on sum of money. This sum of money is what? On face value. We always talk about face value only. Okay. So until they ask what is present worth, whatever sum of money is given, that is always a face value. So what they are telling is, on sum of money due in 2 years hence at 5%. For 1 year 5%, for 2 years it will be 10%. And face value they are asking. And this 10% value is given how much? This value is given as 300. So what is your present worth? Cause this true discount is always calculated on present worth, you can say 100% value will be 3000, means your present worth will be 3000. And what is your true discount? You can say it is 300. So what is the face value? You can say 3300. It is 3300 rupees. So what is that sum? It will be 3300 rupees. Let's check another question. The true discount on rupees 2080. What is this 2080? You can say this is your face value, right? Face value 6% per annum, and your true discount is actually 80. Your true discount is 80. If your true discount is 80, then what you can say your present worth? Be 2000 rupees. What do you know that present worth plus true discount value is your face value? So what is your present worth? It will be face value minus true discount. So what is your present value? 2080 minus 80, right? So this 80 is okay. Now this 6% is given. Now what they are asking is, find in how much time it will be due. Means in how much time 2000 will become 2080. How will you find? In how much time that 2000 will become how will you find? How will you find? You can say that if this is 100% value, 10% is 200, 1% is 20, and how much you need? 80, means how much you need? You need only 4%. You need only 4%, right? You need 4%. But how much you have? 6%. Means by the 4% you are able to get this much, and you are having how much? 6%. So you can say you need only 4%, but you have 6%. So you can say 6% is given for 12 months. 6% is given as for 12 months. So how much for 4%? You can say 4% value will be there for 8 months. Means for how much time it will be due? It will be due for 8 months. 2000 with the rate of interest 6% will become 2080 in 6 months. Sorry, 8 months, not 12 months. Okay, clear? Okay, I hope it is clear now, little bit. Okay, let's talk about this. The amount on bill due 3 months hence at 12% per annum is rupees 3090, the present worth. Simple. 3090 is given, that is what? Face value. 12% per annum, for 3 months it will be 3%. So 3% 3090. So what will be that value? You can say suppose this value is 100%. So total 103% face value, so this will become 3090. So 1% value is 30, so 100% value is 3000. That is 3000. I hope it is clear now, right? Okay, so with this I'm winding the class, and let's see in the next class some installment questions. Thank you so much.